Well, hello everybody. How's it going? I just took out the 118 cadmium orange hue. I thought my carrot kind of looked sad here. Give it a little bit more color. So how's everybody doing? I have noticed that I have some new subscribers. So thank you for subscribing. And hope you will enjoy this channel. So I'm going to do the shaded with a 923 Scarlet Lake over here. Like that. There we go. I've also noticed that there's the sales for Boxing Day are starting. So if you need anything, you can go check out Amazon or I'm going to add a little bit of black here to shade it more. Blend that in with the red, Scarlet Red. Scarlet Lake 923. I check up on myself, right? I get many senior moments. Okay, now let's do this little ribbon in red. Now, this is the background here. There. All right, now with our darkest red, the Scarlet Lake 923, we will start in the darkest areas, which is right here in the crease. And in this crease here, we have another crease, and this is being shaded by the ribbon. This little crease here. And this little crease here. This here, I will leave a white dot in the middle. So I'll just go around and leave some white. My second color is Permanent Red 122. So I just continue the other red. Just like when I'm doing the combos. Okay, this ribbon is underneath here, so it will be a bit darker here. Okay, so we're going to go light or dark here. Dark over here, light over here. So light there. So let's go with our next one, 921. So we continue here. For our red combo, we went dark, medium, light, dark, medium, light. Dark, medium, light. Same thing. And with our very lightest, the yellow. That's going to be our very lightest color. Okay, I took the canary yellow. That'll be fine. That's fine. I took the 916 canary yellow. Was lying around here. I was trying out some stuff. I'm actually going to do the birds with that. So, all right. Now with your black, you're going to darken even more this little end here. This little end here. And this ribbon is shading here, so I'm going to put a bit of black there. With my lightest red, the Pale Vermillion 921, I'm going to go over the yellow to blend that in. All right. Getting rid of any tooth that I see here. Going over the yellow with my pale Vermillion 921. Wherever I see tooth, I go over it. We'll have a nice solid color. There we go. This should be dark here underneath. It's being shaded by this ribbon here. All right, let's drag out some of that black. There we go. And where we see the line, I'm going to use my darkest red. There's like a line here, like that. I'll go over it with the black. Okay, with my Posca, I'm going to put a couple of dots there where I want it to be the lightest, where my light is hitting. So where I've put my dots, I'm going to actually go in with a line. The dots help me get a straighter line. There. Let's make sure they're nice and thin. Just shaping the white lines. There. That's our ribbon. Now, the buttons. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the buttons is there's going to be shading where we see there's lines here and lines here. There's going to be shading on the outside of the button. I'm going to use the Indanthrone Blue 208. Here there's a line, so I'm going to go on the outside of the button. Here and here. There's a line here, so I'm going to go on the outside of the button. I'm going to drink some water. We'll see if that helps with my throat. Because I don't have a cold, it's just from talking so much. Okay. I'm going to take the red, the Scarlet Lake 923. So where my shading is on the button, I'm going to go in with the 923. There's the shade there, so I'm going to go in on the button. There's the shade there, I'm going to go in on the button. The shade is there, I'm going to go in on the button. Same thing up here. There. Now, the small area here where the thread goes, I'm going to color that black on both ends. I'm leaving just a little bit of white in the middle. So I'm leaving just a little bit of white in the middle. Like that. Now, if you don't have Posca, you don't have to put it. You've got a little white area there. So with my Posca, I can go ahead and just put a little white. All right. Now with our next red, which is the 122 permanent red, the colors are all listed in the description under this video. And I've also shown you the list yesterday from my book. So I'm going in here, right, where there's a little area here. I'm not going out there because I want to make sure that I have some light. So I'm just going inside on where the shade is here, and just a little bit just on the inside here, because I'm going to be leaving that white area. So the shaded side is good. And I've left a bit of white. Okay, so where the white is, I'm going to go in with my yellow, which is the Canary Yellow 916. All right, going in now with the Pale Vermillion 921. So I'm going to try to go on the outside a little bit, then just so I leave some yellow. Make sure I leave some yellow here. Back with the yellow over the red area. These are just so small, but they're there. So there we go. If you don't have Posca, you don't have to put it. I'm just going to put a little spot on each yellow. And with with the 1023 Cloud Blue, which needs a sharpen. So I wanted to re-mention here, we turn this little dial to this side if we want a blunt end, and this side if we want a sharp. The sharp is good for the polychromo. The blunt is okay too, but I like it in the middle for the Prismacolor. And I should always leave it there because that setting will be good for both my pencils. All right, so we went in and did our shaded area here. I'm just going to blend it a little bit. Okay. I took my sharpener, but I didn't sharpen the pencil. Silly, silly girl. Okay. I still didn't decide on the hair, so I'm going to do all the rest first, and then I'll come back. I'll be able to decide. So everywhere you see dots, you will add the Cloud Blue 1023. Very pretty blue, nice and soft. So just going around lightly. I'm not going, because I still have a few colors that I want to add. Where the eyes are over here. Lightly. Turning my pencil because it's sharper on one side now. Okay, we'll take our second color. Water, water, water. Am I taping? I hope so. Yes. Oh, thank God. Okay. So I'm going back everywhere that I passed on with the powder blue. I am now coming in with the slate blue 1024. That's my fridge. It likes to keep me company, you know, wakes me up once in a while. Yep, that's my fridge. Oh boy. Okay, now let's go in with the non-photo blue 919. I'm going to try and talk louder. I don't talk very loud, eh? Now when I see that I'm laying down the non-photo too hard, I'm blending in more of the powder blue, so that it's not as harsh. Non-photo blue. If I want to blend it with the powder blue, make sure that it's not too harsh. Non-photo blue. Powder blue. Sometimes I like to go in slowly like that. By the way, this is not a pajama that I'm wearing. Right, Mom? I know you're watching. This is the blouse. Okay, I'm gonna put some white, not on the black line, because the black line is good for the scarf. So just over it a tiny bit. There. Our snowman is coming alive. I can't wait to watch Frosty the Snowman every year since childhood. I'm going to color the birds in our red combo, because if I look back at the snowman, to bring the red out this way would be nice. Non-photo blue. Underneath for the shading. So when I think of it, I put a sheet of paper to protect my coloring. Blend that out to make sure that I get a nice blend. So nice and peaceful here. Even with the fridge purring like a cat. There we go. Let's go in with some white where I've left no color. So it's blending even more, and it's protecting the white page from turning yellow eventually or being dirtied. It's easy to just erase it if it gets dirty, especially when we're working with blues like this. It doesn't take much for the Prismacolor to dirty up the page. So this kind of just protects the paper a little bit. There we go. Mr. Snowman. All right, a little bit more water, right? Okay, it's a good thing I'm not wearing my microphone because you'd be able to hear me gulping down the water. Let's go in with the Posca. And we're not touching the black line here because the blue has faded it away. We're just going inside, covering up the little black dots. Should have started on the other side because I'm right-handed. So I'll go from afar. So there's no right or wrong. Snow is many shades, like the clouds. There are many shades. It's not a perfect one color deal. I'm going to add a little bit of that white on the rocks because that is not a perfect shape either. There's different shades in it. Okay. So now our birds. So I don't have to do this line or this line because the blue will be hiding it. And you want it to be at its darkest, so the black line is good for that area. So let's start with our canary yellow. What did we do with it? I have a Deco. Oh, here it is. Okay. Am I still in view? Yes, I am. Wow, that's going to be a good video today. Amazing. Okay, so let's color these birds yellow. The wings, the belly, the head. Okay, we're going to go in, you've guessed it, red. My darkest red is the Scarlet Lake 923. So we're going to contour the wing. There's a line over here. There's a line over here. The outside of the wing. Under the neck, there's shadings. So I'm going to go ahead and shade under the feet. The line going down, shading under the feet, under the neck, the wings. Let's just do the top of the head here. There. Now with the 921 Pale Vermillion, we're going to bring out that red. Just by going over it and out a bit, over it and out a bit, over it and out a bit. Out a bit. that's it. I'm not going to go any further. They're just so small. I'm going to take out my Jelly Roll Black. It's the 08 Sakura Jelly Roll. You can find that in an art store open stock. You don't have to buy a whole package. Unless you want to buy a package, that's up to you. They are fun to use, I admit. So I'm doing the claws like that. For the twig, we will trace with this black the bottom line. Like that. The other side as well. All right. Now we have to let that dry. We'll go in on the rest of the twig with the canary yellow, but we're just going to let it dry a little bit. I wanted to darken up the hat a little bit, so with the yellow ochre 942, let's just go up a little. Make sure that this is a little bit more color. It was kind of faded. Okay. Now let's go in with the Jasmin 1012 and just blend that out, and a little bit higher as well. Okay. With the black, we can add some shading there next to the hair. So I'm using the Polychromos black because the tip is hard, so it doesn't break as easily while I'm doing the contouring like this. And the sharpness stays longer as well. And with the light Umber 941, I'll blend it out a little bit. Okay, I'll go back in using the yellow ochre 942 and blend that out. So no harsh lines. Okay, so we have a little bit more dimension here. So this should be dry by now. So I'm going to go ahead with the Ocher 942 and color in the rest of the branch, the twig, the arm of our snowman, and I use the gray for this tiny, tiny little area. That is actually the background. Okay. All right. The hair. What color do we do the hair? I'll start here, and by the time I'm finished with this, I have to decide what color I'm doing the hair. Am I still in view here? Okay, let's... All these little things here. Let's get... What color should we do them? Our scarf is green and ochre, so let's go in with the ochre. I'll just color these in. There. Okay, let's continue with our cloud blue 1023. Around the button. Next, I'm going to go get my blue slate. Okay, where's my blue slate? Here it is, 1024. Go over, around, and over the black spots along the line here. This is a nice area where you can be sitting in the sofa recliner and watching a movie while you're coloring. It's a large area with just a couple of pencils, so don't have to bring all your material. Okay, the next color, non-photo blue. Now you're going to want this to be darker because the snowball is going inwards. With our Posca, we will go ahead and white out that line right there. So the non-photo blue, we will go everywhere where there are dots, black dots, meant to be the shading. I'm still there. Okay, let's add a bit of the non-photo in between the wool, the fringe, because it will be a little bit darker in back of there, right? It's a small area. Okay, let's go back in with the powder blue, 1023. So we'll blend this out. Don't forget, you don't have to get the big set of 150 if, you know, even if it's only $100 now on sale. Maybe you can't spend that right now. It's Christmas time coming and whatever. If you can, awesome, go for it. But you can always go for like a 48. I think there's just 64. And they're on sale as well, so. If you get one of them and you let me know, I'll make a color along just for those pencils. So that you're not missing out. And then after that, you can go open stock when you need a pencil. Okay, my paper in the back has slided over, so now it's making a line. Okay, and with the white, I will blend everything out. I would try to stay away from the budget pencils. They're just not, it's not the same. But, I mean, if that's what you have already, like I have the Arctics, but I don't really use them because I have the Prisma. So I will do a couple of tutorials, color alongs for the Arctics, just because some people, that's what they have and that's what they would like to see. So the pencil that you really need is the white Prisma and the black Prisma, or black poly is even better. The white is better with Prisma just because it's very waxy and helps to blend in those colors. There we go. Our snowman. Okay, so let's continue with the background. So the background. Okay, let's zoom in properly here. All right. So the background is over here. Indanthrone blue 208. Non-photo blue 919. Cloud blue 1023. Cerulean blue. Cerulean blue. And then 20% cool gray 1060. So you can take a screenshot of this or pause the video, write everything down. There you go. So the first color, Indanthrone blue. 208. See, with this blue going along the snowman, we don't see the black line anymore. So that's why we didn't have to erase it. So I'm going in dark, and then I'm tapering off with a very light coat, which will be the transition area. So now I'm finished coloring here, so my hand is not going all over. So now this is appropriate to do. I won't be smudging the color everywhere. The next Cerulean blue. Here we go. Okay, Cerulean blue 103. Go out with a lighter transition area. can turn the pencil in your hand to get the pointier side. All right. Non-photo blue. Non-photo blue 911. Let's go out with a transition area. I'm going to go in with my blender just because I find these two colors have a harder time blending together. Now to blend those two together, I'm going to go back with the Cerulean 103 and just try to soften that line up just by going in circles. I'm going to go back with the non-photo very lightly right over what I just colored, so the two can mix in together slowly. (103) Cerulean blue. Any white tooth I can blend out. Okay, so I'm going to go lightly over what I just did. See, now we're not seeing a transition line. This is much better. Okay, and then our lightest cloud blue 1023. So let's do a transition area. Let's go back with the non-photo blue. Work out very lightly. Back with the powder blue. I'm going to sharpen it. When you have a nice point, everything blends in easier. So again, I'm going in very lightly. I'm going out a bit. Now with the non-photo. Sorry about this table. I'm moving around and it's making some music. Let's add one layer of white to that. You agree, table? Yeah? You heard me? All right, so our powder blue. And we'll finish off with the 20% cool gray 1060. And with the white, let's just make sure that the white is clean. And we'll work out the gray into the paper so that the transition is nicer. There we go. And now the magic with the Posca. Don't you agree? The Posca makes it look really cute. Magical. Makes all the difference. All right, that's nice. Okay, so for the snow down below, we'll do exactly what we did up here. So we'll start with the cloud blue 1023. Can you see? Okay. So I hope you like the snowman. Please like and subscribe. That way my channel can grow. More people can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting in some of that Indanthrone blue. I'm going to do that all the way. I like it. I like that. Okay, 208 Indanthrone, right? So I'm going to do just the bottom here. And I'm going to go ahead and blend some into my snow. Not up here, just because the snow is going to be whiter up here. Okay, the next shade will be the blue slate. Then the non-photo blue. The powder blue. And we'll blend that with the white. There. With the Posca, we don't have to do the outside line, just what's inside all the black dots there. And the line that is inside. So basically, that's what I'm going to be doing till the end of the video. And so if you wanted to stop watching now, this will be our final video, which I'll post the picture on this last video. And for the background, you can leave it as is. And if you didn't do this part, you don't have to. You go with what you feel that you want to do. And like and subscribe. Now, if I do decide to do a background, I'll do a special video for background, let's say. So then you'll have the choice to do it or not. But of course, I have to work out how I'm going to continue. I do have a couple of ideas, but I'll see. Depends. Doing a background is not always necessary, so we shall see. It'll be a surprise for everyone, me included. Me included, so I will see you. I'm going to continue filming, but for those that are leaving now, I'll see you soon. And for those that are staying, well, enjoy the rest of this coloring. Put some music on, or a good movie, and just watch the rest. And if you're coloring, you're coloring with me. All right. I'll go in with the Indanthrone 208. I'll do the bottom here so that I can bring it into the picture. I'm going to drag some of that blue into the photo. There we go. And now with the powder blue, I'm going to drag some of that out to the bottom of the snow. Why not coconut? There we go. So we've got some extra color here. All right, let's go up a little bit higher over here. Here is going to be shaded as well. This will be shaded because of the lines over here. This will be shaded down here. Okay, let's go in with the slate blue. 1024. Let's drink some water first. Okay, so let's blend that out. Go back with my powder blue, blend it out properly. Let's add a little bit of photo blue, non-photo blue. And blend that out with the powder blue. There. That gives it a little something. Okay, the slate blue, the non-photo, the powder blue, slate blue over here and over here, powder blue, A little bit of white. Okay, so the slate blue. The non-photo. Powder blue to blend all that in. And the white to finish it off. Have a nice white peak. Why don't I go ahead and finish this off? So, with the Indanthrone blue, after that, the one I have a hard time saying, Cerulean blue. Very lightly. And then with the non-photo blue, I go out very lightly. This is art. You can just relax and enjoy the process. Go back with the Cerulean. A nice blend. Back with a non-photo. And come out a bit. Then powder blue. A transition area. Back with non-photo. Try to make this transition. When we go over it with the Posca also, we will be disguising the little problem areas. with the Cerulean. Non-photo. All right. Let's do a little transition area with our powder blue. A bit of white. And the gray. The 20% cool gray, 1060. All right. Pasta. All right. We're almost done. So with my cloud blue, the non-photo blue, the slate blue, so I've used up a lot of slate blue doing these Christmas winter scenes, which is okay because I get it on open stock. So powder blue, white. Let's blend all of this together. We won't see the pencil lines as much. Let's add a little bit of non-photo here. Need a little bit of darker shades to represent the shade. There. And with the slate blue, can blend it out. Okay, almost done. We have just this little area here.